Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this beautiful, beautiful beach here in Phuket, south of Thailand. I'm here on vacation with my family and just feel inspired to make this quick, or maybe not so quick, video. We've been staying at this really nice hotel, as you can see out here, and I've just noticed a lot of habits and negative habits and conditions that I've been experiencing. So I just kind of wanted to talk through them out loud and hope that it could help someone like you. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about upper limit problem and making small decisions that add up, and maybe making big decisions. We'll see. So to start, upper limit problem. I learned this from a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, I think the name is. And essentially it's this concept that as soon as we find success, or as soon as things start to be going right, we often look for something to kind of bring us down. We have this upper limit problem where we'd say things like, oh, it's too good to be true, or wow, I can't believe this is happening. And that's just some examples of the language that we use, but then the actual activities and actions that we take sometimes end up sabotaging ourselves. And this is an example I've noticed in myself recently. Being on vacation, not a lot of responsibility, not a lot of work to do, not a lot of reasons to stress, and life is good. I mean, look where I am. It's beautiful. I'm super grateful to be here with my family. The food's been good. Amazing sunsets, which I've been posting pictures on Instagram and Facebook if you want to check those out. But I noticed for me, what's been my upper limiting problem, or upper limit self-sabotaging activity or resistance, has been the way I've been eating. I feel like I'm on vacation, everything's good, and because I'm in this perfect place of zen and peace and prosperity and abundance and family and excitement, I notice the tendency to overeat, the tendency to get excited and want to eat more and be like, oh, well, everything's good, so I can eat 6 chicken nuggets and 12 plates of pancakes or waffles. Or actually what I've been indulging is mostly whole wheat croissants with coconut jam. It's been good. But I noticed in myself, it's like once we feel good, there's often this part of us that's like, oh, this is unfamiliar. We're not used to feeling this good. We're not used to not having any stress or worries or not feeling resistance to anything. So let's create something that can piss us off again and come back to that familiar state of scarcity, of fear, of uncomfortability. Basically, it's the way that this ego just creates a problem out of thin air so that it can destroy the problem, so that the ego feels it's accomplished something and it's achieved something. Where if I were to take a step back and be like, hey, I'm happy, I'm super content, I don't need to eat anymore, I don't need to stuff myself. Just because it's free, or there's a buffet, or because there's free happy hour drinks, doesn't mean I need to indulge in 6 cocktails where I know I'm going to regret that moving forward. So that's one concept called the upper limit problem. And as a reflection or inquiry for yourself, you can ask, what is a common pattern in your life when things are going well, but you find that there's this habit to pull yourself back a little bit, to self-sabotage in a certain way. So maybe it's things are going well, so then you drink too much, or you're super excited about your work project, so then you stay up till 3 a.m. and then the next morning you're super tired and burnt out. Or maybe you're in a great mood and then you end up staying out way too late with your friends, or etc. Or maybe sometimes it's just, for me personally, I used to get so excited, and I was an ADD child. I don't believe in attention deficit disorder. I think it's all made up. I think it's a superpower, something that really helps me. But I notice that sometimes when I get super excited and everything's going well and I've got ideas, I'll get clumsy and lazy, and maybe I'll do something like I'll lose my key, or I'll drop my phone. And I feel like these are subtle things where it's like things are going right, but there's a part of me that's like, oh, things are too good. I need to do something that sucks to bring me back down to this place of comfort. So that's the upper limit problem. And I challenge you to think about areas in your life where that's holding you back, because once you can notice it, awareness is the first step into change. And maybe all right, perfect segue. So how to change that once you become aware of that. I think that goes into the concept of making little decisions. And I noticed that in my upbringing, my father's a lawyer, so he's extremely logical, and my mother is very go with the flow. She likes to keep things loose and just be impulsive, and she very much goes from her feelings. So my dad comes from a place of logic, of planning and calculating and risk analysis, and my mom is more just like what feels right. And I've just been so blessed to have both of those markers or guidelines as I've grown into my life and trying to figure out what works best for me. So taking those examples, we can generalize them and say one is from the head, from the mind, and the other is more based on feeling, from the heart. One is logic, intellect, the other is emotion or intuition. And I think that one does not work better than the other. I think the best is when you can combine the two and use them together. So Alan Watts has a beautiful quote, something along the lines of, thinking is just wobbling back and forth before you do what you already know you need to do. I may have messed it up, but it's something along the lines of that. And how I see it is the mind is best for analyzing and the heart is best for making decisions and feeling it out. So what I've noticed recently in the little decisions that can come from the upper limit problem, or maybe you're just not in a great place, or you're stressed or you're tired, is I've noticed for me personally, I won't feel good, I'll be stressed, I'll be anxious, I'll have a headache, I'll be tired, and there's this negative feeling. So I'm at n-1 if n is a playing ground, and there's this belief or thought in me that thinks, okay, I'm at n-1 and that next thing I do is going to take me back, that's going to make me feel better. It's this trick of the ego saying, hey, we're only one choice away. If we just get that thing, or if we drink that drink, or take that class, or talk to this person, then we're going to be okay. And sometimes those things can be very beneficial and to help. But in my experience, when I feel like I'm only one choice away and I'm craving, I need this in order to be okay, then it usually is an empty craving, and it's not really going to help me. It's just another form of resisting the present moment, instead of saying, hey, let's just feel this anxiety and ask my heart what needs to be done and what I can do next, instead of just go off of this thought that, oh, I need to drink more coffee, then I'll be okay, or I need to call this person, or eat more sweets because that's going to give me energy, or whatever that is. So one thing I've been reflecting on is, instead of just following the feeling in the moment, like, oh, what feels right, instead of following the thought, the intellect of, okay, what makes sense logically, how am I going to go through this, is this a good idea, I've been combining the two and trying to expand my perspective into before, during, and after. So asking myself, all right, is this going to feel good before I do it, is this going to feel good during, and is this going to also help me after? And it's a way to take this broad approach to decision making. For example, if I'm at a buffet and I'm like, oh, should I get more food? It's like, all right, am I gonna feel good before this? I'm already feeling pretty good. During it, yeah, maybe feel good, but after, no, it's not gonna really help me. And that's just one thing I've been kind of being aware of. And I'm probably gonna put out more content on this because it's exciting for me. But I realize that for me, it's just like sinking into the feeling, into that state of, all right, well, maybe I just don't feel that great, but I don't need to drink an extra cup of coffee because I don't think that's going to be the answer. And at least not attaching that like, oh, once I do this one thing, I'm going to be better. Rather accepting that like, I'm okay right now and I can just be with this, and kind of accepting it instead of feeling like, oh, I'm one thing away. I need to get a massage. I need to do yoga. I need to do that. And that becomes this attachment. So that's one thing. So little decisions. It's just a reflection. And one thing that I learned from this amazing book called Yes, Yes, Hell No, which is about making big decisions, but it's also applied to small decisions, is asking the following 3 questions. Logically, am I a yes? Does it make sense? Intuitively, Do I feel called? Does it make sense? And is there fear? And so if the answer is logically yes, intuitively yes, and is there fear? Is the fear saying hell no? Then that's something guiding you in the right way. So let's use an example. All right, let's get personal. And so for example, when I was approached by two of my friends to host this retreat in Brazil, they asked me, say, hey, we really like what you're doing. We have this concept of a digital detox. They saw me and participated in a Wim Hof breath work and had heard me play music. And honestly, I'm not really sure what exactly attracted them to me, but they came up to me. It's like, hey, you want to throw this event? Intuitively, I was like, yes. Like I've been wanting to throw a retreat for so long. So boom, I was in. That's the yes. Logically, it made sense. I was like, oh, I can throw a retreat. We'll have 4 people. We can all help. It's in Brazil. They have a location. There was no huge red flags there. And then I went to my fear, and all these fears came up. How are we going to sell tickets? How are we going to get to Brazil? Is June going to be able to get a visa? There's all these fears. Are you going to be able to host this event? Are you going to be able to have the energy to facilitate and run workshops? Or are you just going to have a headache and be sick? Is there going to be access to saunas or marijuana or massages, things that I've been using to cope with the chronic pain that I've been experiencing? So there was a ton of fear. It's like, wow, this is something new. I'm leaving this story that I've been telling myself of, oh, I live in Chiang Mai, XYZ. This is breaking out of that shell by throwing an event. So I didn't even think about it because I'm so used to leaning into my fears. It was just a doozy. It was easy. And so far, it's turned out really well. I'm not sure that was the best example, but I think if you check out the book, Yes, Yes, Hell No, you can learn more about that, or we can keep the conversation flowing in the comments somewhere. So that's kind of what I was intending to share in this video today. I hope you found it beneficial. I'm sweating a lot, but I really like it because it feels good. I'm releasing detox. I'm getting the sweat pumping. So in a recap, the upper limit problem is when everything's going great, everything's going well, and then somehow we self-sabotage that. If you're into sports, there's so many upper limit problems going on. Think of the team where they get so far ahead and they're like, we're chilling, we're coasting, and then they start to get lazy, and then the other team starts to have a comeback where it's a couple turnovers in a row or a couple touchdowns or goals in a row. That's, in my opinion, an example of an upper limit problem. It's like, all right, you get really comfortable, but then you kind of let your guard down and you basically say like, oh, like I'm cool. I don't need to keep pushing myself. I don't need to keep challenging myself or growing. I'm just like, okay, and I'm comfortable. And that's a perfect opportunity for the upper limit problem to come in and say, hey, let's bring you down. Let's remember what it feels like to feel small again. So upper limit problem 2, making small decisions. Remember, combining the intuition with the logic, using them hand in hand. Thinking, is this going to feel good before, during, and after? And I have so much more to say about that, but I'll save it for a different video. And then the third thing was making big decisions. Yes, yes, hell no. The framework from Brian something. He's like one of my favorite authors, and I just found his book, and it's amazing. But sorry, can't think of the name right now. Be in the description later. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get back to relaxing at this beautiful, beautiful beach here in Phuket. So thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Jeremy Ginsberg, and if you would like support or want to go deeper in any of the topics that I've covered in this, I do offer one-on-one coaching and group coaching. I've got different programs available, so reach out to me. We can get in touch. I'm super excited to help people that inspire me, and if you're watching this video, you're probably one of them. All right, one love. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy Tuesday.